Hey, everybody, good morning and welcome to Coffee with John, morning caffeine for your business. A new morning business tip I'm launching. Today is day one, and I'm so happy to have Karen Larson from Clear Brand Strategy here, founder of the company, because I wanted to kick off today's morning tip, Karen, with talking about the power of a brand. When COVID hit March of 2020, I think a lot of people put their branding and their marketing kind of on the side. And right now, as we are what many people are calling in a endemic, mask mandates, more vaccines, et cetera, are all lifting everything. Mm-hmm. So I think it's really important for companies to kind of plug back in to what their brand is and how to evolve their brand in a post-pandemic world. And so I thought we'd have a couple-minute conversation. These are going to be short kind of tips. But what are like one or two or three quick things that people need to be thinking about when it comes to branding? And good morning, everybody.
Good morning. I think the number one thing coming out of the pandemic is that people need to do a little bit of a brand audit. Or companies, entrepreneurs, everybody needs to do a brand audit. And it can be a simple brand audit. But what you really need to do that is look at everything you're doing across the board. Mm-hmm. Look at your website. Look at your materials that you're using to communicate with clients. What is that client experiencing? And does it need to be refreshed? Does it need, is it consistent with your brand? Yeah. And is your brand consistent with your company? These are all questions that you need to ask yourself doing a brand audit.
Yeah, that is what a great morning tip. I mean, to launch the day, to launch the week, to launch even Coffee with John, because a brand audit is so critical. And I'll just add one thing. I think when you're doing a brand audit, let's talk about this. Who do you audit? I mean, to me, it's your internal people, it's your customer, it's potential prospects, it's all the different buckets. You need to get, it's kind of like as a business coach, when I do a 360, you have to talk to a collection of people to really understand, do they understand your messaging? Are you clear and concise internally and externally? So I love that. Maybe if you can comment on that for, 30 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can, ideally, if you can put together a core group or a focus group of internal people, of your leadership, always you have to have the decision makers in the room. And ideally, a few of your ideal clients or customers.
Yeah.
And all sit down, talk about your brand, talk about your business. Are you focusing on the right customers when you're communicating? Is it too broad? Is it too narrow? These are all questions. But especially nowadays, what are you doing on social?
Yeah.
And how often are your customers hearing from you? The main thing for me is, what are your customers experiencing?
Yeah. Maybe
there's an internal brand and an external brand.
Yeah. Maybe we can kind of keep this conversation going, and we'll have you back on tomorrow for Coffee with John. What do you think?
That'd be awesome.
All right. Everybody, Karen Larson, Clear Brand Strategy, do a brand audit. That is great advice. I appreciate it. Everybody, have a great day. Utilize this for today and utilize it through the week and through the year. This is really, really important stuff. Do a brand audit. Karen, appreciate you being on this morning. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,